So from here, we're going to transition to another project from Cal State Long Beach. This one, again, led with Heather Barker as team lead. And we are moving from turtles to trash. The aim here is to create a trash-free Long Beach, promote collective action, and strengthen social relationships through art and technology. So I'll let them tell you how they're going to do that. Go for it, folks.
Thank you very much. The two teams that we have here are both working at the urban ocean interface. And information about Long Beach, for those that are not familiar, the city is surrounded on three sides by water. So we talked first about the San Gabriel River in the previous project Confluence. The Los Angeles River is the other river on the north side, and now we're going to move to the coast and the beach. And so it is said by psychologists that there is no action without emotion, and I think you'll find that this team has done an excellent job in providing the tools for action and positive emotion, and then letting participants see the value of engagement by having real tangible beneficial impact. So I will turn it over to Project Shape.
Hello, we're Project SHAPE, which stands for Sustainable Hubs and Public Engagement. Project SHAPE, we wanted to use community and promoting sort of trash pickup and beach cleanups, which has already been sort of a stakeholder in our community, but using community engagement and fostering those relationships within our local community to use it as a tool for people to see value and to also find collective action. So I will briefly introduce sort of our team members. We come from a diverse range of educational, cultural, and regional backgrounds. We have Gabe Gutierrez as our project manager and design lead, myself, Sophia Ingenio, as a project manager and outreach lead, Zeming Bill Kiao as our hardware engineer lead, Lindsay Harrison as a research lead, Luis Santos as a hardware engineer and outreach lead, Shrey Patel as our project manager and design lead, Cho Chen as an outreach lead, and Kira Wong as a research lead. So our objective throughout this process, like I said, was to create a community and promote sustainable habits by providing the tools and resources for community members readily at their disposal. So as you can see here, we have a 3D video sort of showcasing our event and sort of what we've done. And of course, we will touch on that further. But we first wanted to start by using the sustainability goals on a local level through the LA County Sustainability Goals 1, 5, 6, and 9 to guide our research and sort of our iterations, and then using a global scale of sustainability through the UN Agenda Sustainability Goals of 6.3, 12.5, and 14.1, all focusing on ocean interfaces, accessibility to local resources, and community engagement. So our project overview, we used the double diamond process to sort of first discover the challenge that a lot of us were facing, or that a lot of community members in Long Beach were facing. As I said, we come from a diverse range of backgrounds. So we had a lot of people who were new to Long Beach and ready to jump right in. And then we took that to define the solution we wanted to address, allowing us to iterate onto our prototype development and then finally deliver with impact during our final event. Here is a quick overview of our project roadmap, just so you all can sort of get an idea of how we wanted to lay out our time and also how we wanted to set small scale goals for us to reasonably achieve our events. So I will now pass it off to Kira, our research lead.
Yeah, so for our research, before we could even begin designing, we wanted to better understand the problem of trash pollution in Long Beach and how it affected beach visitors. To do this, we interviewed people of Long Beach. We selected specifically 3 zones based on their beach proximity and square footage of public recreation spaces. So Bixby Park, Bluff Park Walk, and Belmont Veterans Memorial Pier. These zones encompassed 4 diverse neighborhoods. So Alamitos Beach, Bluff Park, Belmont Heights, and Belmont Shore, which had diverse populations in terms of age, income, education, and ethnicity. which could provide us rich and varied data. From our surveys, we found that the majority of beach visitors were either tourists or new residents, and either ages 24 to 35 or ages 44 to 65. We also uncovered 4 major motivators and inhibitors for picking up beach trash. A sense of community, especially with the majority of beach visitors being either new residents or tourists, and especially because of the more digital age that we live in now. We actually found beach visitors were mostly seeking a sense of community and belonging. So this was the biggest motivator, as well as discouragement, time, and sanitation. Because of this, any feedback to improve our project was collected through surveys based on metrics measuring these motivators and inhibitors. We also assessed 7 past solutions, which features worked or didn't work to address these motivators and inhibitors to inform which features to incorporate into our own solution, as well as assessing our own solution based on these 4 major motivators and inhibitors for picking up beach trash we uncovered through our research, which I'll hand off to Sophia to go over with you all.
Thank you, Kira. So this foundation provided by our researchers of Kira and Lindsay allowed us to then iterate a solution. So our hardware engineers, along with the rest of the team, came up with this idea of developing a hub, of course, following the 4 main pain points of encouragement, time, community, and sanitation. We first began with our low fidelity sketches, most literally thinking of how people throw away trash. So we sort of used what you would consider a residential trash can, and trying to gamify that and add certain elements for sanitation needs to make it more accessible and easily available for people to pick up. But as we were iterating, we found that the trash can model was too literal, and to promote community engagement and foster those bonds within our community, we wanted to rethink how people can pick up trash or how people can view picking up trash in the act. And the overall analysis of these 2 low fidelities led us to find that visitors wanted to have those physical interactions. They wanted to use analog experiences, especially coming out of the COVID Zoom era. And they wanted to really be involved with their community and rather use those tools rather than digital or online games. So this brings me to our mid-fidelity prototype, which you can see here. We call it our hub. So as you can see below, we have this portable plywood basin that has a foldable upright board that allows people to not only put their trash there once they go onto the beach and collect it, but sort of leave their mark. So as you can see here, this is sort of our beginning iterations of it. And then through this 3D twin motion, you can see here how we have our vertical board. We painted it with chalkboard paint to allow visitors to write and leave their mark. And then on the reverse side of it, we created sort of a leaderboard situation where visitors, once they weighed their trash, they could put their name and then the amount of trash in pounds they picked up. And whomever throughout our event collected the most would then become the top on the leaderboard. So sort of gamifying picking up trash. And Kira covered our zones, but we chose to focus on Wanapero Beach, right below Ocean Boulevard and the Long Beach Museum of Art, not only because of its central location in Long Beach, but because of the access towards the beach bikeways and sort of the diverse populations that culminate there. Here are some pictures from our event. So we have MECTA, Los Angeles, a local group. We have a mother-daughter duo who were quite impactful. She was very keen on teaching her mother how to pick up trash. And then we have the future firefighters of Long Beach City College coming together and leaving their mark. So a major part of this project and a major contributor was using our public awareness, public engagement outreach. So we used a variety of sources such as Discord, Instagram, email lists, flyers across our community, locally in Cal State Long Beach, and then at large to sort of promote our event. And like I said, we first began with the Design Student Association and the Chinese Student Scholars Association to spread the word to other student groups on campus and gain a lot of student recognition. And then we focused with the District 1 Office of City Councilwoman Mary Zendejas to promote our event at large. So she assisted in sending flyers on behalf of us to community members. And then a very big key component to our engagement was the Association of Future Firefighters at Long Beach City College. As you can see here, there's an image of one of their captains, former Fire Chief Brad Wilson, who pledged several members to come out, and they really just wanted to get engaged and, again, build that community within their school. This leads to Lindsay.
Yes, so during our pilot event, we wanted to see how we could improve our prototype. So we conducted a usability test to identify weaknesses and see how we can improve our solution. So we structured this to understand how our prototype was responding to the aforementioned 4 pain points. So to test for feelings of encouragement, we had participants select an image to reflect their mental state, both before participating in our event and after. For community engagement, we observed how many different people each participant talked to. For sanitation, we checked off how many different materials at our hub participants decided to use. And then for time, we recorded how long each participant spent picking up trash at our hub. We also asked all participants to select words reflecting how they felt about our event at the end. And then from there, from our data, we had 2 big takeaways, the first of which was we wanted to promote socialization a bit more. We wanted to get people to talk to each other and talk with members of SHAPE more. So we asked ourselves 2 questions. How might we utilize competition to engage beachgoers? And then how might we better allow people to express themselves with our hubs? And then, of course, we wanted to gain more participation. While we did have quite a few participants, we wanted to expand that and see how we could make it even better. So we thought, how might we better attract people's attention? How might we target people closer to the shoreline? And then how might we, as members of Project SHAPE, lead by example? And then our proposed solutions for each of these for socialization was to add a large blackboard showcasing who collected the maximum number of pounds of trash thus far in an attempt to kind of inspire a friendly competition. And then we also, as mentioned, used some chalkboard paint so that people could write and then be a part of our hub. And then to gain participation, we thought about using music to attract visitors, implementing bright buckets, maybe with our logo on it, to kind of spread our logo as SHAPE, and then also to fly a bright flag or kite with our logo above our hub. So for our impact across both events, we picked up 249 pounds of trash, and we had 40 beachgoers decide to participate with us. And then from our usability tests, users reported that they felt our event was sanitary, they felt more connected, and they felt more motivated after participating in our event.
Thank you, Lindsay. So as she said, we did have a lot of participant testimonials, both on our chalkboard, Blackboard iteration that we had created during our November 19th event. And then as you can see here, we have our first iteration from our November 5th event, which was a canvas in which participants could use a Sharpie to write some messages. So we had a variety of people coming from across the US, internationally through the US, a bunch of age ranges. As you can see here, one of the participants was Kylie, an 8-year-old who's still learning to spell, but she understood that keeping her environment clean was very key to the contribution of her future and the sanitation and enjoyment of her beach in Long Beach. So for our future vision of Project Shaped, we would love to create a Center for Sustainable Community Engagement within CSULB's HXDI department. This initiative would allow us to not only grow the number of hubs we have in our fleet, but also the space for us to create sort of an educational curriculum and workshop programs for local K-12 schools. Having this space would then allow individuals, whether they be teachers, local residents wanting to call action to specific beaches in their area, come to our space and take the materials we have provided for them to create an organization sponsored by Project Shape. So here are some other resources and further documentation for your enjoyment. Thank you again so much for allowing us to have this platform and listening to our presentation.
All right. Wonderful job, team. You know, I have to say the testimonial from the 8-year-old that you kept spelled as they spelled it, that's so beautiful that you did that. You know, I think that that's like a kind of a next level of understanding where a message is coming from and preserving it. So I really appreciated that. I want to bring it back to Carlos and Kai to see what they think. I think this time, Kai, why don't we start with you? I know your background in architectural engineering, you must be dealing with the idea of waste quite a bit as well, and so would love to see what's top of mind for you.
Yeah, this reminds me a lot of something a coworker recently showed me. It's a trash wheel in the Baltimore Harbor or Boston Harbor. I don't remember clearly, but have you guys heard of this? And if not, it's something you should definitely look into because it was larger scale, but they really made their hub, they kind of personified it and they gave it a personality and an Instagram page, and that really became a centerpiece of how they were able to reach the community. And I already love your hub idea and the competitiveness with the sort of playfulness. I thought that was really great. But maybe this is another way you can reach a wider audience. And one question I did have for you is, do you were you able to collect any information on the sources of the pollution that goes to Long Beach, and are there ways to minimize it from the outset?
Yes. Excuse me. Thank you. So the Long Beach it's contained and confined by the breakwater because we do have one of the largest ports on the West Coast. It's both not just the Port of Long Beach, but also the Port of LA. And as Team Confluence is brought to our attention, we have two main river beds, the Los Angeles and the San Gabriel River, flanking our city. So a lot of the trash, while many may think it's from visitors who are just, aimlessly leaving their trash or sort of disrespectfully leaving their trash on the beach, it actually does come from a lot of that sort of economic infrastructure, and also from a lot of the waterways coming from the two rivers into our port and into our bay. So because of the break wall, as I said, it doesn't allow it to either float out to the ocean, which isn't a beneficial solution either, but it sort of sits within our own community where we're more able to be present and interact with it.
We actually also, the article that kind of guided our project initially was actually from the Press Telegram, which reported Long Beach being home to the fourth worst California beach, according to the Hilda Bay 2019 report.
Thank you.
All right, Carlos, let's throw it to you.
A great presentation, guys. I love the concept. I love the work that you guys are doing. I think you guys hit the nail on the head with what the issue is with your first slide, with one of your first slides, where it essentially said that the majority of beachgoers, are either tourists or people from the valley, i.e. me, and then even fewer locals, right? So, when you guys did your final prototype and try to get, people's representation of what that prototype meant to them, did you guys split it up between those three certain groups to see what they think about it from their own different perspectives? I know that locals would probably love it more. Tourists would probably see it as a little bit of a hassle. And then I would love to see what the people from not locals would think.
Yeah. So because we kind of, from those demographics, we were able to establish that they all shared common like major motivators and inhibitors. We mostly just focused on using those shared motivators and inhibitors to assess our project moving forward.
And along with the sort of contributing factors of group, especially from our testimonials from sort of our Canvas page, we were able to see that even the individuals who maybe weren't local to Long Beach were just as passionate about picking up trash and keeping the ocean clean, just to sort of promote that message of a global environment and keeping your global environment clean, not just sort of something that you can visualize, but something that might not be as visually recognizable to you in your day-to-day life still carries value. So we were able to see that. One of our visitors was actually from, or our participants, excuse me, was actually from Virginia and was accompanying his wife on a conference in Long Beach. And he actually worked for the waste management in Virginia. And he heard about us just walking down the beach and was so passionate. He ran over to our hub and was like, I hear you guys are picking up trash. I want to help. And he, I believe, picked up around like 16 pounds of trash within 30 minutes. So it just shows that, you know, you might not have people who are local to California, but they still want to carry that message.
So when we look at beaches in different cities, Virginia Beach, Saudi Arabia, how do we fix this somewhat issue? Most of our knowledge would go back to Hawaii, who had this problem significantly in the past. When you did your research, did you look at other towns that were successful with this, and what tools did you gather from them that benefited you better?
Yeah, so we assessed 7 projects that had the same goal of cleaning up the beach. We unfortunately didn't see any solutions out there that were similar or wanting to tackle the same problem in a similar way through community engagement in Hawaii. But we did look at one project that was in Bali that was a trash sculpture. And I think that we noticed had like a feature where everyone could kind of see the visual impact of the community as a collective whole over time as the trash was collected within the sculpture that they have. And so we kind of took that and incorporated it into ours because it does help when you can see. I mean, I think even one of the beach visitors that we interviewed was complaining how they would pick up trash, but then because they see so much around all the time, they feel so discouraged because they don't think that they could feel like they could make a difference even. So even from just that project itself in Bali, I believe, we found that I think visualizing people's impact, their community's impact, really helped with encouraging others to also follow suit.
Great. Thank you very much.
Right. Wonderful work, team. It's time to wrap up and start transitioning as well. I have to say, I loved being able to see 2 teams present like this back to back. You know, I think you can see the relationship in the process that you went through as well. And so that's really inspiring and encouraging, and I think gives us a lot of ideas as well. So thank you again to both of the Cal State Long Beach Pando Days teams.